When it comes to presentations and delivering presentations, this is one of these make or break kind of skills. And what's really interesting, though, I think about the ability to present is that it's really not about you. The problem that most people face when they do a presentation is they really get in their head and they're thinking, I've got to be brilliant, I've got to say something really witty, I've got to nail this, they're all going to be looking at me. But if you think about for yourself, when you go to hear a presentation, you're there to hear the information. You want the presenter to do well. You don't want them to be bad at what they're doing. And in fact, if you're going, and especially if you're paying, or even in a company meeting, and you're going to hear a senior executive, you kind of expect that they're going to be good. So when you see somebody up there fumbling and nervous and, speaking in a monotone, it's actually a bit of a shock, and that's what throws the audience off. I remember seeing somebody present at one of our events. We run executive events, and they're not really formal presentations. They're more relaxed, informal chit-chat. And they're the executives are all sharing their lessons. And I had one person who got so into their head, and what they were doing as they were on the podium was that they were trying to be the executive. And so they had very measured responses. Meanwhile, they were sitting beside two leaders who were being very candid and very loose and, really authentic in terms of how they were delivering the message. And I think probably that's the key is in presentation, if you're nervous, it's okay. Be nervous, be authentically nervous. Go with it, and people will get on your side and you'll feel, great about it. But when you see people trying to put up a mask or trying to put up an act, it makes the audience uncomfortable. So what I saw happen to this person was that they weren't able to connect with the audience. They had some good content, but because they were so focused in their head, and this was a very senior executive, they were so focused in their head and thinking about what kind of impression they wanted to put forward that they weren't thinking about the audience, and they weren't thinking about who the audience was interested in connecting with. So I think for presentations, we have to keep in mind authenticity, being who we are, and really letting go of worrying so much about ourselves and putting our focus out there to the audience and keeping the message really focused on them and what the impact's going to be as they're sitting there listening to us.